So second unit is about regular expressions and languages. Okay. So in our first unit, we discussed about automata and we saw how languages can be represented using automata. Okay. So we saw that there are different types of automata like NFA, DFA, and epsilon NFA. Okay. So this notation, regular expression, is one more method to represent your languages. So yesterday we saw some introduction. So these are the topics we are going to see in our second unit. So we'll be seeing what is a regular expression and some simple problems of regular expressions, how to define regular expressions for any particular language. That we'll see in the first part. Then we'll see what is the relation between finite automata and the regular expressions. And we'll see that there are certain languages which are not regular. Okay, this is one more topic where we prove that certain languages are not regular, and we'll discuss about closure properties of regular languages and equivalence and minimization of automata. These are the main topics we are going to cover in our second unit. Okay. And yesterday we saw some introduction about regular expression and automata. Okay. So I hope you remember this. Once again, I'll repeat. There is automata. It is also used to represent languages. Regular expressions are also used to represent languages. But automata is a machine-like representation. That is, it will have state transition notation. It will have states and transitions. So on reading any particular symbol or any particular input, the transition goes from one state to another state. So from the initial state, we transit to the successive states till we reach the accepting state. Okay. So therefore, we call our automata as a recognizer. It will recognize some particular set of strings, or it will be like a machine-like notation. Okay. And your regular expressions, they are also used to represent the same set of languages, but the notation is in the form of an expression. Okay. It is in the form of an algebraic description or an expression. Okay. Where your expression may have some operators in it. That is the difference between your automata and regular expressions. Apart from that, they are going to represent the same set of languages. So it means that if I'm able to construct an automata for any particular language, then I will be able to construct an equivalent regular expression for that language. Okay. So both these are equivalent notations. Regular expressions and automata, they are equivalent notations. One can be converted into another. Okay. So if I'm having a regular expression, I can construct an automata. If I'm having an automata, I can construct a regular expression. So that is the relation between these two terms. And yesterday we also saw where your regular expression is used. Okay. So what is the purpose of using a regular expression? Mainly in your search commands. So now we'll see what is the formal definition of a regular expression. Like how in your automata we saw the formal definition. The formal definition of NFA or DFA means you will define it as a 5-tuple notation. For an automata, I am defining. For an automata, you defined the formal definition as A is equal to Q sigma del Q naught F, like that, as a 5-tuple notation. So our regular expression, we are going to define using your concept of mathematical induction. Okay. So the regular expression over sigma can be defined as, we are going to use the mathematical notation, we are going to define it in terms of basis step and induction step. Okay. So in basis step, we are going to take the smallest possible symbols in your input. Okay. So the smallest possible set or smallest possible input might be either an empty set or a null set or a set with just epsilon. Okay. For these three terms, we are going to define the regular expression first. Okay. So read through this statement and you write down. So in the basis step, it is defined as null is a regular expression that denotes the empty set. It means that inside your set bracket or inside your set, we don't have any terms. Okay. So in that case, if you want to write a regular expression for that set, okay, for a set of, for an empty set, if I want to write a regular expression, the regular expression is null. Okay. So this red color symbol I have highlighted to define your regular expression. Okay. So in the basis step, we are defining for the smallest or simplest possible set. If your set is null set, the regular expression is null. Okay. And if your set consists of only one element epsilon, imagine your set consists of only one element epsilon, then the regular expression for this particular set or the regular expression for this language can be defined as epsilon. Epsilon is the regular expression denoting your set of only set with just a single element, that is epsilon. Okay, and for any particular symbol A in your input alphabet, if your set consists of only that particular symbol A, okay. So if your set has only one single element A, you can write a regular expression for that language as simply A itself. Okay. So these are the smallest possible symbols in your language for which you can define a regular expression. Okay. If your set is empty, you can write null. If your set consists of only epsilon, then your regular expression is going to be epsilon itself. And if your set consists of a single alphabet of your input alphabet, then we can define the regular expression as that same term itself. A is a regular expression denoting the set of A. Okay. So we are trying to write the regular expressions. In all the cases, you just understand we are trying to write the regular expression for a set. Okay. So if your set is empty, regular expression is null. If your set consists of just epsilon alone, your regular expression is epsilon. If your set consists of a single symbol A alone or B alone, then you can write that A as a regular expression. Or if your set has only B, you can write B as a regular expression. Okay, this is your basis step. So based on a basis step, we are going to define the inductive step. So in induction step, what we will do, we will use the assumptions and we'll derive at some conclusion. Is it not in your induction step? So in induction step, we assume that R and S are already regular expressions. We assume that there are two regular expressions called as R and S. Okay, so R and S are valid regular expressions denoting the languages L1 and L2. This is the assumption. Okay, the first line is your assumption, as we saw in the last class. First, we'll assume that S of n is true. Similarly, I am taking R and S to be valid regular expressions. Okay, so if they are valid regular expressions, I am going to try to build the regular expression using the three operators plus dot and star. Okay, so if R and S are regular expressions denoting the language L1 and L2, we can perform a union of these two languages and we can define a new set. Okay, so for that new set of language, if I want to define a regular expression, we can write it as R plus S. Okay, so R and S are regular expressions denoting languages L1 and L2. Okay, so and if I want to define a new regular expression for the union of these two languages, we can write it as R plus S. Okay, and then if I want to concatenate these two languages L1 and L2, okay, imagine L1 has some 3 elements, L2 has some 2 elements. I want to concatenate all the elements in L1 with all the elements in L2. We'll individually pick out elements one by one from L1. I'll concatenate it with all the elements in L2. Okay, so thereby we form we'll be having a combination of 6 elements. Okay, so that is your concatenation. You just try it later. If L1 has some 3 terms, L2 has 2 terms, I'll pick out one element from L1, I'll concatenate with all the 2 elements in L2. Then I'll go for the second element in L1 and go and concatenate with all the elements in L2, like that. So for that, we use an operator called dot. So R dot S is the regular expression denoting such a language. So R plus S is the regular expression denoting the language L1 union L2. R dot S is the regular expression denoting the language L1 dot L2. And R star is the regular expression denoting L1 star. Okay, for example, if I'm having a language L1, if I want to do repetition of symbols, for example, if L1 has a single symbol A, I want to define a language called set of all combinations of A, that is A followed by AA followed by AAA, then 4 A's, 5 A's, 6 A's, like that. So in that case, we can apply this star operator. For repetition, we can apply star operator. Okay, so in that case, your regular expression is going to be R star. Okay, so this is the way we are going to define our regular expression. This is the formal definition of regular expression, which follows basis and induction step. This is also asked in your university exams in your 2 marks. Define regular expression or give the formal definition of regular expression. Okay, so in that case, you have to write the basis step and induction step. In basis step, take the define the regular expression for empty set, that is null set, and then epsilon, and then A. And then in induction step, you take the union, concatenation, and closure. Star is defined as closure. Okay, closure of the languages, and we have to write the regular expression. Okay, so these steps, these define the concept of regular expression. What is a regular expression, or how a regular expression would be, like that. Okay, so we'll see more problems and examples today. Okay, so I'll go for the next slide. So this one, yesterday we discussed about this one. I gave an example for regular expression. So we saw if there is an automata like this diagram you might have drawn yesterday. Okay, so you just refer your notebook. So regular expressions, they can be defined as another type of language defining notation, and particularly they are used in search commands whenever we want to match with a particular word, like how an automata recognizes a word. We have constructed automata to recognize keywords, is it not? While, then, if, like that, we used our automata to recognize keywords. Similarly, when I say that regular expressions are equivalent notations of an automata, we can say that regular expressions can also recognize words. It can also recognize words. So mainly it is used for pattern matching or word search, like that. Okay. So if you are having an automata like this, I can define regular expression as 0 star 1 star. Okay, your regular expression will have operators in it. Like 0 star 1 star denotes some set of zeros. Closure of zeros means some set of zeros followed by some number of ones. You have repetition of ones. Okay, so that is defined as 0 star 1 star. And these are the three operators used in your regular expression: dot, plus, and star. And like how in your arithmetic operators in normal usage we use arithmetic operators, is it not? So there we follow something called as precedence of operators. So the same is applicable in your regular expressions also. Okay, we follow the precedence. Okay, you just write down this. Okay, so the operators, they take a precedence. So I have listed the operators in the order of increasing precedence. That is, concatenation takes the least precedence, union takes the next precedence, and closure takes the highest precedence. So by the side you write in your notebook. This is an important university question asked in your asked as 2 marks. What are the operators used in a regular expression and what are its precedences? So star takes the highest precedence and concatenation takes the least precedence. Write down in notebook, closure takes highest precedence and concatenation takes least precedence. Okay. So we'll start with a problem. So before that, most of your regular expressions will be having these two operators, plus and star, but a dot operator, it will not be explicitly visible. Okay, we have to imagine that in between any two terms, there is a concatenation operator. Okay, for example, in the previous example, I showed you this regular expression, 0 star 1 star, is it not? So I have to imagine that there is a dot in between the 0 star and 1 star. Okay, so dot, we are not going to explicitly place a dot in between terms, but we have to imagine that there is a dot between two terms, two individual terms. Between 0 star and 1 star, there is a dot, like that. Okay, so we'll start with the problems. So for you to understand how to construct regular expressions, I have selected problems from starting with the smallest problem or simplest problem to some tough problems. Okay, and some of the problems we have constructed for we have taken for construction of automata, is it not? For example, we constructed automata for strings beginning with, ending with, substring, odd number, even number, like that. So I've taken problems in the similar manner. I've taken the languages in the same manner, and for that we are going to learn how to define regular expressions. Okay, so let's start with the first problem. You just write down in your notebook we are going to, in the first problem, we are going to see how to write a regular expression that accepts set of all strings of A's. Read through this question. Regular expression that accepts set of all strings of A's where sigma is equal to A. So your input alphabet is defined with a single symbol, and we have to write a regular expression that accepts set of all strings of A's. It means that your language, it will have set of all A's. For example, 1 A's, 2 A's, 3 A's, 4 A's, like that. So include epsilon also. Okay. So that will be the smallest thing. If you are given an explicit condition like without epsilon or at least 1A, then you can omit this epsilon. Otherwise, set of all means you have to include epsilon also. So write down this. Your language will be. So first of all, in your first unit also, I told you that before constructing an automata, you should be able to identify the language. Okay. Similarly, before writing a regular expression, you should read the question. You have to understand what is defined in the question, and you have to identify the language, identify what are all the strings inside that language. Then we can write the regular expression or an automata. Okay. So that's why first we have to write the language first. So now to write the regular expression for this, we can write it as A star because we are having just repetition of A's. So closure operator can be used to define the repetition of symbols. So A star. So by the side of this A star, you just write down that star denotes. Okay, star denotes. So far I was telling star denotes repetition, but actually you have to remember star is 0 or more occurrences. 0 or more occurrences. Write down by the side of star in pencil. You can note down. You draw a line near the star and write 0 or more occurrences. 0 or more occurrences. So star denotes 0 or more occurrences. So I'll tell you what is the significance of that. Okay, so a closure operator star denotes 0 or more occurrences. The voice is not clear. Huh? Some of you have told. Am I audible clearly? So one of you confirm, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Star denotes 0 or more occurrences. That's why you have to you just think once again. Occurrence means this is, if it is a star, if it is a 0 number of occurrences, this A will not occur at all. At that point, we can say that it is a string epsilon. Okay. So if I write 1 in the place of star, okay, in place of star, we are going to write the number of occurrences. So I can write it as A power 0 or A power 1. So your A star defines the union of all these. String length of 0, string length of 1, string length of 2, string length of 3, everything you are going to take a union. Okay. String length of 0, 1, 2, 3. You refer your language. So the first string is string length of 0. Second string is string length of 1. Third string is string length of 2. And then string length of 3. So your star denotes the union of the strings with all these lengths. Okay, lengths. So A power 0 union A power 1, A power 2, like that. Okay, A power 0 union A power 1, union A power 2, A power 3, like that. We are going to take a union of all these. So A power 0, it denotes 0 occurrences of A. So, okay, A power 0 denotes 0 occurrences of A. It means that A will not come at all. So that is the case where you get an epsilon here in your language. Okay, so, and an A power 1. A power 1 denotes one occurrence of A. One time I'll just pick out that A and write that. Okay. So that is this string A. And if I write A power 2, if I write 2 in place of star, it defines 2 occurrences of this particular symbol A. So it means the string is AA. Okay. So similarly, if you write 5 in place of your star, it is A power 5. So A power 5 means 5 times we will write A, like that. 5 A's. So that is available in your language. So that is the definition of a star. So this you have to understand in your regular expression. What is the purpose of each operator? So star denotes 0 or more occurrences. 0 occurrences, it will not occur at all. 1 occurrence is 1 time you are substituting that A. And 2 occurrences is 2 times you are substituting that A, like that. Okay. So that defines your language here. So now can you understand this? Your language, if your language has set of all strings of A's, your regular expression is going to be A star, denoting this particular language. So it will have union of all the strings of all length. And I'll take one more problem. Regular expression that accepts set of all strings of zeros. You write in the problem 2, you write it is zeros. Regular expression that accepts set of all strings of zeros where your input alphabet is 0. So one example we have seen with A is, what if your symbol has 0? Okay, instead of A, it is all the symbols you can substitute. If it is 0 here, so here there is a mistake. In your problem 2, you just write it correctly in your notebook. Regular expression that accepts set of all strings of zeros. Instead of A, you write zeros here. So if it is zeros, your language is going to be the same. I have just replaced all the A's with zeros. Okay. So we'll see just the samples of problems. So when your question has some other symbols, you must be able to analyze and substitute the symbols. So instead of A, if there is a 0, you just write your regular expression is going to be 0 star. Okay, your regular expression is going to be 0 star. And if it is a B, you are going to write it as B star. So here you just note down your input alphabet has only one symbol, only 0 or only A. Okay, we didn't have two symbols. In our automata, we saw your set might have two symbols, 0, 1 or A, B. So we'll see that cases in our next problems. So this is a very simplest thing where I've taken only one symbol as the input symbol. And this is the next problem. The regular expression that accepts set of all strings of A's except the null string. Note down this word, regular expression that accepts set of all strings of A's except the null string. It means that your language will not have epsilon. Okay, your language must not have epsilon. So there must be at least one A. There must be at least one A in your language, or there must be at least one A in your string. Your string must not be empty. So that is the case defined here. The regular expression that accepts set of all strings of A's except the null string. So in that case, how to write a regular expression? I must not use a star. If I write a star, it denotes 0 or more occurrence. That's why I told you to write by the side of a star 0 or more occurrence. Okay. So if I write A star here, your regular expression is wrong. You must not write simply A star. Okay, because there A star will represent epsilon also. But in your given question, they have defined that your language must not have epsilon. So they have defined it as except null string. Null string is your epsilon. Okay. So I must not have an epsilon. It means that your regular expression must have a A. Okay. Then only you can have recursion. So here the answer for this one is A plus. That is A raised to the power plus. This plus is different from the earlier plus operator what we saw. So earlier I told you regular expressions uses 3 operators, star, plus and dot. Is it not? So that plus denotes a union. That plus denotes a union. Here when the plus symbol is raised to the power one or more occurrence. Now by the side of this plus you draw a line and write one or more occurrence. Like how for a star you wrote 0 or more occurrence. By the side of this plus you draw a small line and write one or more occurrence. Okay, so plus denotes one or more occurrence. Write down. So star denotes 0 or more occurrences. But a plus denotes plus raised to the power. In the chat box, I am writing that. So one plus raised to the power, it denotes raised to the power. Okay. plus raised to the power denotes one or more occurrences. It means that at least one time that A should come. Okay, it denotes at least one time we have to write that A. We must not take the 0th occurrence. A power 0 we must not consider. So A power plus denotes the union of A power 1 union A power 2 like that. Okay, it denotes A power 1 union A power 2 union A power 3 like that, except that A power 0. So that is your regular expression denoting set of all strings of A's except null string. So there is one more way of defining this A plus. Write down this also. Your A power plus or A plus can be written as A star. You can break the A power plus as A star. Write down this. I will tell you one more thing. So I told you that star denotes closure. Is it not? Star is named as closure operator. So, and your plus operator that I showed you in the earlier slides, they denote union. So when plus is raised to the power, it is called as positive closure. Okay, so plus in this point, it is called as positive closure. And a star denotes clean closure. Okay. A plus denotes positive closure. You write down a plus raised to the power. This plus is called as positive closure. And a star it denotes, we call it as clean closure. So closure means repetition, but when I'm taking one or more occurrence, it is called as positive closure. Zero or more occurrence means it is your clean closure. Write down these two terms, positive closure and clean closure. Positive closure is one or more occurrence, and clean closure is zero or more occurrence. A star denotes the clean closure. You just analyze these two regular expressions. So an A plus can be written as A star. It means that I'm writing the first symbol A. Okay, so A plus denotes there must be at least one A. So that at least one A we have written as a separate term here, and the remaining thing you can write the A power 0. You can write it as A power 0. A power 0 denotes 0 or more occurrence. Is it not? Now when I concatenate with a single A, that denotes regular expression with at least one A. So A plus can be written as A star. Both these are correct answers. Both these are equivalent. Okay. Shall we move to the next problem? So in the chat box, I've given some of the hints. Write down in your notebook by the side of this problem. It is applicable for any problem in your regular expressions. Plus and star. What is a plus? What is a star? So a plus, when it comes in between two terms, it is union. When a plus comes as a power, it is called as positive closure. It denotes repetition of one or more occurrences. A star denotes repetition of zero or more occurrences. We shall see the next problem. Regular expressions for set of all combination of zeros and ones, where your input alphabet is defined as 0, 1. Write down this question. So your input alphabet has two symbols 0 and 1. So your language is going to have set of all combinations of zeros and ones. So it means that your language will have 0 or 1 and then 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0 and all possible combinations. You can define strings with any combination. Okay, so any combination of zeros and ones you can frame and write it as a language. Okay, so set of all combinations of zeros and ones, it denotes a language like this. So when I am telling set of all combinations, I have to consider that 0th occurrence also without taking any symbol also. So that's why your language will have epsilon, and then you write whatever string you want. You start with one length string, then two length strings, then your language will be clear. You will be clear, or it will be neat when you are writing. You start with 0 length string, then 1 length string. 0 and 1, it is 1 length string. Then write all possible 2 length strings. 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. Then write all possible 3 length string. Then you randomly write some other strings. Okay. So it's not a must that you should follow that. If you are writing in that format, it will be neat and visibly clear. Okay, so this is your language, set of all combinations of zeros and ones. So for this, if I want to write a regular expression, how to write? So for in the previous problem, we saw that for our set of all combination of A's, what we did, we wrote it as A star. Set of all combinations of 0, we have written it as 0 star. So set of all combinations of zeros and ones means, so at any point of time, how we wrote this language? We wrote this language as, at any point of time, we wrote the symbol 0 or 1. Whatever I like, I'll write. Okay, I'll write a 0 or 1 at any time to frame the string. So in the same case, we are going to write a regular expression. Anytime a 0 or 1 may come. Okay, but it should repeat for any number of times. It should repeat for any number of times. The length is not defined. Your language is going to be infinite. So there is a repetition. So you're going to use a star. But instead of always having a particular symbol called A or 0, you have two symbols here, 0 and 1. Okay. So at any point of time, the symbol that's going to occur is 0 or 1, but it's going to repeat. Okay. So if I'm simply writing 0 plus 1, it denotes your language called as, your language will have only two possible strings, 0 and 1. Okay, so for you to understand, I've written these statements. You just understand this is not the answer. Okay. So if I'm writing defining the regular expression as 0 plus 1, it defines a language called just a 0 and 1. You'll have only two strings, which is of length 1. But I want all these strings. I want all these strings of all the length. Okay. So in that case, I'm going to place a star on the star as the power, so that it will apply all combinations. So one time I'll take this 0. Next time I'll take this 1. Next time I'll take the 1 or 0. It is our wish. It depends on your string. Okay, so we'll take a sample here, because you should understand this, why we are using 0 plus 1 star. I'll pick out a sample string here. You take this string, 3 zeros followed by 1. We have a string in your language called 0001. Okay, we'll analyze how this string is accepted by your regular expression. Okay, 0001. If I want to derive this string, I will apply your regular expression like this. For the first occurrence, I'll take 0. Since there is a star, once again, there is in the second occurrence, I'll take the 0. In the third occurrence also, I'll take the 0. And then in the fourth occurrence, I'll take the 1. Okay. So a star denotes a number of occurrences. So I can repeat any number of times. And every time when I'm repeating, I can pick out any one of these symbols. Okay. So that is the logic of this particular expression. Okay. So since there is a star, you're going to repeat. But every time when I'm repeating, I can pick any of this 0 or 1 based on the string. Okay. So therefore, for this string 0001, for the first 3 occurrences, we'll pick out this symbol 0. Okay. And then for the last occurrence, we'll write this 1. So thereby, this string will be accepted by your regular expression. So we'll take one more string. We'll take 111. We're having a string called as 111, is it not? So in that case, when I'm applying a regular expression, when I'm using a regular expression to define this string, for the first occurrence, I'll take 1. For the second occurrence also, I'll take 1. For the third occurrence also, I'll take 1. Then I'll get the 111s as my string. Okay. So that is the way we are going to check our strings with our regular expression. Okay. So you can cross check whether we have written our regular expression correctly or not. Okay. So by now, you should understand that for set of all combinations of zeros and ones, your regular expression will be like this: 0 or 1, the whole star. Okay, 0 plus 1, the whole star. So we are having repetition, and at every repetition, I can pick out any of these symbols. That's why it's defined as union, any of these symbols. Okay, so 0 plus 1 star defines a repetition over 0 and 1. And in each repetition or in each iteration or in each occurrence, we can pick out and write any of these symbols. Okay. So any number of times you can pick out this symbol. Okay. So you remember very well that for all combinations of zeros and ones, your regular expression is going to be 0 plus 1 the whole star. And if your input alphabet has just A and B, the same thing you're going to apply for set of all combinations of A and B. My regular expression is going to be A plus B the whole star. Okay, if your input alphabet has some other symbol, you just substitute here. Okay, so if my input alphabet has 3 symbols, imagine. My input alphabet has 0, 1 and 2. If I want to derive all possible combinations of 0, 1 and 2, my regular expression will be 0 plus 1 plus 2 the whole star. Okay, so any number of times we can iterate with these symbols 0, 1 and 2. So likewise we can apply it for any language or any input alphabet. You have to understand why we are writing this plus here, why we are writing this star. Star is for repetition and plus is for representing union, this or that, 0 or 1. I'll give you one more example. Regular expression. We are going to write a regular expression for language of strings beginning with 0, 0. I hope you can write the language for this, because now I have defined some more problems. All these problems I have taken from the first unit where we constructed automata for these languages. So you have the answer in your hand. Regular expression for language of strings beginning with 0, 0. So as a first step, you just write the language alone. L is equal to, inside the set bracket, you try to write some set of strings that begins with 0, 0. You take the input alphabet as 0, 1. Sigma is equal to 0, 1. Sigma, you take sigma as 0 and 1. So your language will be like this. All the strings, it should begin with 0, 0. Your language L is equal to, write some set of strings, and all the strings must have a 0, 0 in the beginning. After that, you place any symbols. Here also I have written, after 0, 0, I have considered 0 length string. Then after 0, 0, I have considered a 1 length string, 0 and 1. And then after 0, 0, I have considered all the 2 length strings, like that. If you are writing like that, it will be more clear. Just ensure that all your strings, it begins with 0, 0. After that, you write any string. So for this particular language, how can we write a regular expression? So if your language consists of strings beginning with A alone, I can write like A followed by all combination of A's. Okay. So here we are going to consider your concept of mathematical induction, the basis step and induction step. You split like that. So I've written like the regular expression is going to be this first 2 zeros, it's going to be static. Okay. The occurrence of first 2 zeros, it's going to be static. All the strings must have 0, 0. So write that with confidence. You can write that in your final answer. 0, 0 will come in the beginning. So write that 0, 0 straight away. And then after a 0, 0, what should come? After a 0, 0, you must have all combination of 0, 0, zeros and ones. Okay. The regular expression will have 0, 0 followed by the regular expression denoting all combination of zeros and ones. So for all combination of zeros and ones, we have seen in the previous problem, it is 0 plus 1 the whole star. Is it not? So your regular expression will be like this: 0, 0. After that, you will have 0 plus 1 the whole star. So you just analyze this regular expression. It starts with 0, 0, because in your problem it is given as all the strings must begin with 0, 0. So straight away write that 0, 0. We cannot represent it in another term. You cannot use a star here or a plus here. Exactly, we want 2 zeros. So write those 2 zeros here. Then after that, write the regular expression for all combination of zeros and ones. So in all these places, you have to imagine your concatenation comes into existence. There is a dot between the first 0 and second 0. And there is a dot between the second 0 and this parenthesis. Like that, you should understand. You need not explicitly write a dot, but we have concatenated the simplest regular expressions. Okay, small regular expressions we are concatenating. So here also, when I'm writing 2 zeros, it means that we are concatenating 2 regular expressions. Okay, first 0 is a regular expression, second 0 is a regular expression. We have concatenated it using a dot. And similarly, here also, we have concatenated these 2 zeros with the parenthesis, open bracket 0 plus 1 the whole star. So this will be your answer for this question. Regular expression for language of strings beginning with 0, 0. So it should be 0, 0 followed by 0 plus 1 the whole star. Similarly, if your zeros is replaced with A, B or some other symbols, you must be able to apply the same logic. So we'll go for the next problem. regular expression for the language of strings beginning with 101. I hope you can write for this. Apply the same technique. Write the language. So it is the language. All the strings should have 101. All the strings must have 101 in the beginning. Then you write any possible combination of zeros and ones. Write the language. You try it on your own. Just 2 steps you are going to write. You write L is equal to some set of strings where all the strings must have this 101. All the strings must have the pattern 101. Write the language with some 5 strings. Then place 3 dots at the end. Write some few strings and place dots at the end. Have you written the language, all of you? After writing a language, you try to write the regular expression. So what should come? In the beginning, you must have 101. So there is no relaxation here. I must have a 1, then 0, then 1. Then only all combination of zeros and ones. So write the regular expression for that. 1, 0, 1 followed by all combination of zeros and ones. Regular expression for all combination of zeros and ones. So you can cross check your answer here. Your language will be like this. You have some set of strings with 101 in all the strings. All the strings, it will begin with 101. Then what shall we do? Your regular expression is going to be like this. 1 followed by 0 followed by 1, and then you have to write the regular expression denoting all combination of zeros and ones. So that is nothing but your 0 plus 1 the whole star. So your final answer is going to be 101 followed by 0 plus 1 the whole star. Okay. So for beginning with, you are going to write like this. So same logic we are going to apply for ending with also. So if I am having ending with a particular pattern, write that pattern at the end. Initially you write all combination of your input alphabet. So that is the way we are going to write. So therefore I told you how to write this all combinations. So all combinations means you write it as 0 plus 1 the whole star. Apply repetition over all the input alphabet. That is the regular expression for all combinations. Based on your problem, whether it is beginning with or ending with, you are going to append the prefix or suffix. So take this problem. Problem number 7. Regular expression for language of strings ending with 3 zeros. Take your input alphabet as sigma is equal to 0 and 1. So I have not defined here. You write down in your notebook sigma is equal to 0, 1. So here you have a condition that all the strings must end with 3 zeros. All the strings must be ending with 0, 0, 0. Are you all writing in your notebook? Write down in your notebook. Write the language. L is equal to, start with the smallest possible string. Write the smallest possible string first. You will have 3 zeros as the first string. Then after that, you write any possible string where in all your strings, you must ensure you have 3 zeros at the end. In all the strings, you must have 3 zeros at the end. Okay, write like that. End all your strings with 3 zeros. Initially, you can write any pattern. Write any combination of zeros and ones in the beginning and end up with 3 zeros. So now to write a regular expression for this, the hint is initially you can have all combination of zeros and ones. The first part of your regular expression will be all combination of zeros and ones, and in the second part we are going to write the 3 zeros one after the other. Okay, the 3 zeros you have to write one after the other without any operators in between. So a regular expression will be 0 plus 1 the whole star followed by 3 zeros. Okay, have you all written? 0 plus 1 the whole star followed by 0, 0, 0. So for ending with problem, they have given a hint, is it not? Ending with a particular pattern. Write that pattern at the end, and in the initial part or the first part, you have to consider it as 2 parts. Whenever there is a condition, you imagine there are some parts. Okay. So in ending with problem, you consider it is 2 parts. The last part and the first part. In the last part, you write 0, 0, 0. In the first part, you write 0 plus 1 the whole star. Yes. Do you have any doubt?
Hello, ma'am.
Santosh. Santosha. Santosh, do you have any doubt?
மேம் ஸ்லைடு கொஞ்சம் விசிபிளா இல்ல மேம்.
Ma'am,
ஆமா மேம் 7 நிக்குது மேம்.
7 நிக்குது மேம்.
புரியலனா?
ஸ்லைடு விசிபிளா இல்ல.
ப்ராப்ளம் 7ல இருக்கா? யாரோ ஒருத்தர் பேசுங்க. ப்ராப்ளம் 7ல இருக்கா?
மேம் இல்ல மேம் ப்ராப்ளம் 7ல இல்ல மேம். 7 மட்டும் தான் மேம் தெரியுது. ஸ்லைடுல 7 மட்டும் தான் மேம் இருக்கு.
அப்படியா?
எனக்கு 6 ஓட இருந்துச்சு மேம்.
ப்ராப்ளம் நம்பர் 6 ஓடயா?
ஆமா மேம்.
ஓகே. So others, problem number 7ல 3 ஸ்டெப் தெரியுதாப்பா? Just ensure me.
No ma'am, தெரியல மேம் எனக்கும்.
எனக்கும் தெரியல மேம்.
சரி நீங்க ரெண்டு பேரும் மியூட் போடுங்க. நீங்க ரெண்டு பேரும் மியூட் போடுங்க. தெரியுதா? யாருக்கு தெரியுதோ அவங்க தெரியுதுன்னு சொல்லுங்க. others just refresh. Just
மேம் தெரியுது மேம்.
தெரியுதா? ஓகே. So because of some internet issues இந்த மாதிரி இருக்கும்.
மேம் ஸ்லைடு தெரியல மேம்.
தெரியலங்கறவங்க ரிஃப்ரெஷ் பண்ணுங்க.
மேம் ஸ்லைடு தெரிய மாட்டேங்குது.
But some of them say it is visible. அப்ப விசிபிளா இருக்குறதா கரெக்ட். விசிபிளா இல்லாதவங்க you have to check your internet connection. கனெக்ஷன் இருக்குதா பாருங்க.
700 kbps வருது மேம். நல்லா தான் மேம் வருது நெட்.
So you see I have prepared the slide as a step by step slide. That is the problems must be visible step by step for you. So I have included some animations. Okay, animation I just included the appear animation. Okay, so that the lines will be seen step by step. So if it is not updated to you, if I'm simply projecting the entire set of steps, you won't understand anything. Okay, so if it is not visible, you just listen what I am telling. Write down in your notebook. Just I have written only 2 lines in each problem.
அப்பனா இந்த PPT மட்டும் சென்ட் பண்றீங்களா மேம்? அப்புறம்
PPT I have uploaded when I'm taking a class. I have uploaded in your MS Team. MS Team la upload ஆயிருக்கும். ஓகேயா? You go and refer. அதுல இருந்து எடுத்து ரெஃபர் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. என்ன கிளாஸ் எடுக்கறனோ அதல அப்லோட் பண்ணுவேன் நான். அப்லோட் பண்ணி தான் நான் கிளாஸ் எடுக்கிறேன். ஓகே, அதை ரெஃபர் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. ஓகே, other than that you listen carefully. Whatever
ஜாயின் பண்ணலாமா?
என்னப்பா?
வெளிய போய்ட்டு வந்து ஜாயின் பண்ணாங்க மேம். வெளிய நிக்குது.
பண்ணுங்க. போய் ஜாயின் பண்ணுங்க. உங்களுக்கு வரல அப்படினா you just reconnect once again. யாருக்காவது விசிபிளா இல்லனா ரீகனெக்ட் பண்ணுங்கப்பா. So problem number 7 இருக்குப்பா.
6 வரைக்கும் ஒழுங்கா தெரிஞ்சது மேம். 7 மட்டும் அப்படியே நிக்குது மேம்.
7th-ல 7ங்கற நம்பர் மட்டும் தெரியுதா? கீழ இருக்க ஸ்டெப் எல்லாம் தெரியலையா?
எஸ் மேம்.
So you also connect once again. You leave the meeting and come back once again. You just follow this, the problem 4, 5, 6, everything, they follow the same step. You try to write. We'll go for the next problems. We have a lot of problems. Okay, I'm still discussing only 2 marks. Okay, I want everyone to understand. So I'm still discussing only simple problems. You listen carefully and write down. Try to solve on your own. Question தெரியுதுனா நீங்களே சால்வ் பண்ண ட்ரை பண்ணுங்க. I'm going for the next problem. Problem number 8. If the question is visible, the problem number 8 na அங்க நான் ஒண்ணுமே பண்ணல. 8 பக்கத்துல question அப்படியே போட்டுருக்கேன். You try to solve it. So problem number 8 is regular expression for language of strings ending with AB. Try to write the language for regular language for set of all strings ending with AB, where your input alphabet is A comma B. Write the set of strings ending with AB. So your language will have L is equal to, you write some set of strings where all the strings it will end with AB. For this, how can we write the regular expression? So your regular expression must end with AB. It means the first part will have all combinations of A's and B's. Okay, so the first part of a regular expression will have all combinations of A's and B's, and then at the end you should write A followed by B. Okay, so a regular expression will be like this. a plus b the whole star ab. The answer for problem 8 is, if for anyone if it is not visible, you just write down regular expression is equal to a plus b the whole star ab. A plus b the whole star ab. So this is the regular expression for set of all strings ending with ab. Okay, the answer is a plus b the whole star ab. Okay, so we shall go for the next problem. So far we have seen beginning with and ending with. So in beginning with, you wrote the pattern there and then all combinations. In ending with problems, in the end you write the given pattern, and in the starting part of the string you write the all combinations of strings. Okay, and in a substring what shall we do? Just think about and try to write the language. Write the language. L is equal to a substring means somewhere in between your string you must have the pattern 101. Okay, somewhere in between the string you must have the pattern 101. So your language will be having set of some strings where in your string you will have 101 somewhere, either in the beginning or in the end or in the middle. Somewhere you will have the sequence 101. That is your substring. So when you are trying to write a regular expression, that regular expression must accept all possible strings, all these possible strings. Okay, so when I am trying to write a regular expression for substring, the pattern is in between. Okay, the pattern 101 is in between your regular expression. So in either side of this 101, any combination of zeros and ones might occur. Okay, so the hint you're going to apply here is the pattern 101 might come anywhere in your string. Okay, so therefore in the first part of your regular expression, you may have any combination of zeros and ones. And then in the last part of your regular expression also, you may have any combination of zeros and ones. And in between, you can have this 101. You must have a 101 in between. Okay, so I've given this hint. With that, I think you can write the regular expression. You can find the answer for this. So where I've written all combination of zeros and ones, you replace it with 0 plus 1 the whole star. For substring, for problems with substring, you will have all combinations on either end of that pattern. In both the end of the pattern, you will have all combinations. Okay, so you will have 0 plus 1 the whole star in the beginning and also 0 plus 1 the whole star at the end. So I've displayed the answer. If it is not visible for anyone, I will just read out the answer. It is 0 plus 1 the whole star. Write down 0 plus 1 the whole star and then 101. Once again 0 plus 1 the whole star. Whether the slide is visible for everyone? Problem number 9. So the screen is not visible, but whether the chat is visible, Solomon David, whether the chat box you are pasting a picture, is it not? Is it visible for you?
chat box தெரியுது மேம்.
Chat box தெரியுதா? அதுல நீங்க போட்ட இமேஜ் தெரியுதா? அப்ப வந்து we can ask someone to யார் விசிபிளா இருக்கோ அவங்க ஸ்கிரீன் பிரிண்ட் ஸ்கிரீன் போட்டு போடலாமே அந்த ஸ்கிரீனை chat boxல.
Ma'am, can't display content in varudha ma'am.
But your internet connection is okay, yeah? Wait a minute. I have displayed the content in your chat box. Is it okay now? Is the slide now? I have pasted the slide content in your chat box. Is it visible now? Solomon David. Solomon, answer me.
இப்போ தெரியுது மேம்.
தெரியுதா?
தெரியுது
chat
ma'am,
box
தெரியுது
பார்த்து
ma'am.
எழுதிக்கோங்க. ஸ்லைடும் தெரியுதா?
ஓகே மேம், ஓகே மேம்.
ஸ்லைடு தெரியுதா?
ஸ்லைடுக்கு தெரியல மேம், இமேஜ் தெரியுது மேம்.
ஸ்லைடு தெரியல, chatல தெரியுதா?
தெரியுது மேம் சாட்ல.
சரி, அப்ப chatல பார்த்து எழுதிக்கோங்க. நான் அதுல போடுறேன்.
ஓகே மேம்.
Okay.
Thank you மேம்.
So we'll go for the next problem. The problem number 10 is regular expression that accepts exactly a 1 in the second last position. This is for this you have constructed an automata. Do you remember? Regular expression that accepts strings with a 1 in the second last position. For this, if you are trying to construct a regular expression, how shall we write? There must be a 1 in the second last position. Then your language should be, try to write the language, or straight away given the diagram here. You analyze the diagram. When problems of this kind is there, you analyze the diagram. Your automata will have a 1 in the second last position. So with an automata also, you can try to write the regular expression. Okay. Analyze your automata, and some of you, if you can understand, you just try to write the regular expression. From the second last position, you must have a 1. Then what about the first position, or what about the last position? Like that you think. So the hint also given. The first part of your string is going to be any combination of zeros and ones. That's why in your automata we have drawn a self loop. Okay, and then this 1, it denotes the second last position. Okay, the last position might be either a 0 or 1, and the second last position will be a 1. Okay, the last position can be either a 0 or 1. Okay, this is the hint. With that, can you write the regular expression? You can try. The first part will be all combinations, and then the second part, I have splitted the problem into, or your regular expression into 3 parts. Okay, so the first part will have any combination of zeros and ones, and then the second part is going to be the single one, and then the third part we are going to have either a 0 or 1. Okay, so either a 0 or 1 can be written using the regular expression 0 plus 1. I have written this regular expression as 0 plus 1 here. Okay, so in the underlines or in the dash, I have placed the regular expressions. Okay, this 1 denotes a regular expression denoting the second last symbol, and 0 plus 1 denotes the regular expression denoting the last position. Okay, in your string, the last position might be either a 0 or 1. The last symbol might be a 0 or 1. So therefore, the regular expression will be 0 or 1. You must not put a star here. Okay, if you are putting a star, it will do repetition. But if I want only one symbol to occur in that position, and if it is it might be either a 0 or 1, means you have to write like this, 0 plus 1. Okay, understand? A 0 plus 1 denotes either 0 or 1. Okay, so the last position of your string can be either a 0 or 1. Okay, so therefore we have written it as 0 plus 1. Now fill out the first part of your regular expression. Fill out the first part of your regular expression. What can we write in the first part? You can write 0 plus 1 the whole star. Okay, you can write 0 plus 1 the whole star. So the expression will go like this: 0 plus 1 the whole star, followed by a 1, and then 0 plus 1. So this will be your regular expression for strings with the 1 in the second last position. Okay, shall we move for this next problem? Write down the question for the next problem, problem number 11. So problem number 11 is regular expression for language of strings where the number of zeros is even. This is one type of problem where we count the number of zeros and identify how many zeros are there, whether the number of zeros is even or odd, like that. You try to write the language where your strings will have even number of zeros. Write the language for this, and then I'll tell you how to write the regular expression. Write the language with number of zeros as even number. You must have 2 zeros or 4 zeros or 6 zeros or 8 zeros. And one more thing you note down here, the number of ones, it's not defined. Okay, the number of ones is, the condition on the number of ones is not defined, but the input alphabet is given as 0 and 1. So it means that you can have any number of ones anywhere. Okay, the number of ones, there is no constraint about the number of ones, so you can have any number of ones. And the number of ones can be, or the ones can be either in the beginning or in the end or in the middle, anywhere. Okay, and as I told you in the previous classes, even number means even zero occurrences is also considered even. It means that your string might not contain zero at all. You watch the last string in your language. I've written the last string without any zeros, just simply ones alone. Okay, so it means that it has zero number of zeros. So such strings also your regular expression must accept. So I'll give you the hint once again. So since I'm using a PPT, I'm writing the steps like this. I'm giving a hint and then writing. In your exam, you must not write this intermediate steps and all. Okay, so even in your DFA construction, I have given you some hint. We constructed DFA as step by step, is it not? But the final answer alone is enough. In construction of DFA also, just draw the diagram alone. Similarly, for regular expression also, just writing your language and the final regular expression is enough. But for you to understand and how to analyze a problem, I should teach you how to analyze a problem, is it not? For that only I'm giving you some intermediate steps here. So that you have to understand, you try to write the solution in such a manner, but in your exam it is enough to write the final answer alone. You must not write the intermediate steps like this. So you have to think all these things, you have to think mentally. So now how to analyze this problem, you just see here. I want 2 zeros, 4 zeros, 6 zeros, 8 zeros, is it not? For that, the hint is you have to write 2 zeros inside a parenthesis and place a star here. Okay, we need 2 zeros, 4 zeros, 6 zeros. For that, we are going to place 2 zeros inside a parenthesis and place a star above that. Okay, so whenever a zero comes, another zero must accompany it. Then only we can ensure that even number of zeros. Is it not? Whenever a zero comes, only if another zero also comes, it means that we can ensure that even number. So only we have put 2 zeros here. But about the 1, there is no condition. Okay, so a 1 can come anywhere in between these zeros. Okay, so these zeros may not come in a sequence. Okay, somewhere it can be. So a 1 can come either in the left hand side or right hand side of these zeros. Okay, a 1 can come in the left hand side or right hand side of these zeros, and at the same time the number of ones on the left hand side or right hand side or anywhere, it is not also given. So we can write a 1 star in all these dashes in between. That will be your regular expression. Okay, you can write a 1 star in between the 2 zeros. Okay, on either end of the 2 zeros, you can write 1 star. So can you understand this? You just analyze this regular expression. You can write a 1 star. This outermost star, it is written for maintaining the 2 zeros, 4 zeros, 6 zeros, 8 zeros, like that. To maintain that even number we are writing. And remember, the star denotes 0 or more occurrence. So even this entire thing may not come at all. Okay, this entire pattern may not come at all. Okay, and a 1 may come anywhere. So here I want all of you to write one more thing here. I missed that. Okay, you can have a 1 in either even outside this parenthesis. Okay, even before this open bracket and after this closing bracket star, you can have a 1 star. Then only I can ensure that number of ones may also occur. Okay. All of you refer the chat box. The next step I'm writing. I missed that in the slide. The final answer will be like this. You will have a 1 star even outside this parenthesis. Okay. Even with this parenthesis, if I'm not taking any zeros at all, there might be some number of ones on either end. Simply ones may come, is it not? The last string in the language. My string may have just ones alone. To ensure that, I can write like this: 1 star on either end of your either end of this closure. Write the final answer from the chat box. That will be your final answer. You have to place a 1 star on either end of this parenthesis. Okay. Shall go for the next one. So this is one more variation of the previous problem. In the previous problem, we saw that the number of zeros should be a multiple of 2, or it should be an even number. So now I've taken one more problem. This is also an important question, where your language will have set of strings with symbols called as A and B, where the number of A's should be a multiple of 5. So in a previous problem, the number of zeros is a multiple of 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8 like that. Here I've taken the symbols as A and B. The input alphabet consists of 2 symbols A and B, and the number of A's should be a multiple of 5, and the number of B's, about the number of B's, they have not given anything. Okay, like in the previous problem, about ones they didn't define anything. Likewise here, about the B, nothing is defined. So can you try to write the regular expression for this? You can write. Some of you can give the answer in your chat box if you are able to solve this problem. You are going to solve. Remember, in the previous problem we did for multiple of 2, zeros as multiple of 2. Now we are having A's as multiple of 5. So the hint is, inside the bracket you write the number of A's as a multiple of 5. 5 A's you write inside the bracket. On either end of the A's, you write number of B's, any number of B's. If you are able to follow, just try out the answers. Even if it is wrong, no problem. You guess the answer and give it in the chat box. Try to give some answers for this problem 12. Anybody can try. Even if it is wrong, no problem. You just try to write. You need not write the language and all. Write the final regular expression alone. I given the language here. So 5 A's, or I have not mentioned about B's in the language. You write B's anywhere. Okay, you write any number of B's anywhere in your language. But ensure there are 5 A's or 10 A's or 15 A's, 20 A's like that. The number of A's must be in a multiple of 5. You can have any number of B's anywhere in between. Why nobody has given the answer? Try to post some answers here. Write 5 A's. So once again, I'll give the hint. At least now you try. You have to write 5 A's within the parenthesis and write the number of B's anywhere, and in either end also. Yes, very good. Priyadarshini has returned the answer correctly. VV Priyadarshini. Yes, this is the correct answer. You can note down. Okay, you must have 5 A's inside the parenthesis, and in either end of the A's you write B star, and also outside the parenthesis also write B star. Okay, so that will be your answer for this question. That will be the regular expression. Yes, many are giving the answer. Okay, so now I think you are confident. So even if the symbols changes also, you can write, is it not? Even if it is for multiple of 3 or multiple of 4, you are going to follow the same logic. Okay, it might be with either the input alphabet A, B or 0, 1. just apply this logic. Okay, just see what is that multiple and apply that. That star gives you the repetition. Okay, so this will be the last problem of this pattern. This is asked in university question. Okay, regular expression that accepts set of all strings which begins or ends with either 0 or 1. So when you are solving problems in theory of computation, you have to watch what are the words used in your question. Sometimes they might have used or, and, they all matter a lot. Okay, so if it is or, it is union. If it is and, then it means that it is like an intersection. Okay, so you have to note down carefully, like words like except, and, with, without, like that. So now read through this question carefully. Regular expression that accepts set of all strings which begins or ends with either 0 or 1. Can you understand anything from this question? You just analyze. Accept set of all strings. So in your input alphabet is 0 and 1. That is understandable. And which begins or ends with either 0, 0 or 1, 1. So your string will begin with either 0, 0 or 1, 1. Okay, so all your strings might begin with either, it can begin with 0, 0 or 1, 1, or it can end with 0, 0 or 1, 1. Okay, so that pattern should be ensured. So this problem has both beginning with and ending with condition. And what should come in the beginning or what should come in the end is either 2 zeros can come or 2 ones can come in both the beginning or end. So like that you have to define your regular expression. So to solve this, we can split your regular expression into two parts. Okay, so I split it as language 1 and language 2, since they have given it as or, which begins or ends with. So for this or, I've taken the union. So for set of all strings beginning with 0, 0 or 1, 1, I've defined the language as L1. And set of all strings ending with 0, 0 or 1, 1, I've taken the language as L1, L2. Okay. So now let's define what is this L1 and L2. You just go through this and find out whether you can understand. So L1 denotes set of all strings beginning with 0, 0 or 1, 1. So beginning with 0, 0 or 1, 1 means your beginning must be 0, 0 or 1, 1. So for that we can write 0, 0 plus 1, 1. And in the end, you can have all combination of zeros and ones. Okay. So your L1 defines set of all strings beginning with 0, 0 or 1, 1. So for 0, 0 or 1, 1, we have placed a plus in between. Okay. And if the beginning is 0, 0 or 1, 1, the later part of your regular expression is going to be any combination of zeros and ones. So you can write 0 plus 1 the whole star. Similarly, your L2 will be written as your ending will be 0, 0 or 1, 1. So if ending is 0, 0 or 1, 1, your beginning first part of your string is going to be all combination of zeros and ones. So for that you write 0 plus 1 the whole star. Okay, you write this in your notebook. I'll give some time. Write this in your notebook. Then we are going to take the union of both L1 and L2. Union. Think about how to perform a union of this one. Union means in between I'm going to place a plus, that's all. Okay, union is taking, you can write the plus operator. Okay, so when you are taking the union, write the plus operator in between and merge the two regular expressions. Hence, your regular expression R will be L1 plus L2. L1 plus L2. So in that, if you are just analyzing, in between you must have all combination of zeros and ones, and on either end you must have either 0, 0 or 1, 1 in both the ends. In beginning you can have 0, 0 or 1, 1, and also in the end you can have 0, 0 or 1, 1. Okay. So this is an university question, you can mark by the side. So with that, these are some of the simpler problems I've taken. All these problems they ask only in 2 marks, but you have to understand what is asked. Okay. So in these type of subjects and all, if you are not able to answer the 2 marks well, the examiner who evaluates your paper, they will conclude that you don't know the subject. You're not strong with the basics, or you're not clear with the subject. So then your marks in your part B also will go low. Okay, and the same, you have to understand the question. Then only you can understand even questions what is given in your part B. So now, one more simple concept we are going to analyze. That is about what is a regular language. So far, we are discussing about regular expressions. Is it not? So we are discussing about regular expressions. So now I'm going to tell you about the concept called as regular language. Write down the heading regular language. So regular language is those set of languages for which you can construct an automata. That we can call it as a regular language. Okay. So when you are calling a language, you know, language is set of all strings. Your strings might be anything. Okay. Language is set of all strings, but we cannot construct automata for all the languages. There are so many languages, is it not? We cannot construct automata for all the languages. For certain, so far in our first unit and in our second unit, we have seen that we can construct automata for certain languages. Okay, we have constructed automata for certain languages like beginning with, ending with, substring, even number, odd number, like that. We have constructed so many automata. Okay, so all these languages, they are all regular because we were able to construct automata for those languages. Okay, and now I want to give you one input that there are even certain languages for which we cannot construct an automata. Okay, for certain languages we won't be able to construct automata at all. So those languages, they come under a category called as not regular. Okay, so whatever we have seen earlier, they're all regular languages, and we can define like this: those languages, that is those languages that are all accepted by your DFA, they're all regular languages. Okay, and languages that are all accepted by your DFA or NFA or epsilon NFA, and even by your regular expressions, those languages that are accepted by your regular expressions can also be considered as regular languages. Okay, so those set of languages accepted by any of your automata, DFA, NFA or epsilon NFA, and those languages accepted by your regular expressions, these languages and all, you can call it as regular languages. Because I previously told that if I have an automata, I can construct a regular expression. If I have a regular expression, I can construct an automata. They are equivalent. Okay, so all these are equivalent terms. For a particular language, I can construct a regular expression. For the same language, I can construct epsilon NFA. For the same language, I can construct an NFA or DFA. Okay, so all these things, they are called as regular languages. Those languages for which, in short, if you want to remember, you just remember, if we are able to construct an automata, then that language is a regular language. Okay, we will see about the examples for languages for which we cannot construct an automata. We will see in the later part of our unit. In the second unit itself, we will see. Now we remember this one. Okay, and this is also an important university question. It is equivalence of finite automata and regular expression. You just draw this diagram in your notebook. This is also a very important question. Equivalence of finite automata and regular expression. A lot of information is hidden in this diagram. Okay, the direction of arrow you have to draw carefully. That arrow denotes some information there. Okay, so if I'm drawing an arrow from one notation to another notation, it defines some information. I'll tell you that. You first draw this diagram. So all these are equivalent notations. All these are equivalent notations. Epsilon NFA, NFA, DFA, regular expression, all these are equivalent notations, and we can say that they're all different notations of defining regular languages. Regular expressions are different, regular languages are different. Okay, regular expressions are the algebraic notation of a language where we have operators. Regular languages are the set of all languages for which you can construct an automata. Okay, have you drawn? you have all drawn, I'll tell you the meaning of this arrow. I'll tell you the meaning of this arrow and the direction, meaning of this direction. Okay, so the direction, it denotes that I can convert one into another. That is, I can simply, you just imagine, you take any particular arrow from NFA to DFA. You watch the arrow from NFA to DFA. If there is an arrow from NFA to DFA, it denotes that I can convert an NFA into DFA. Okay, I can convert an NFA into a DFA. Do you remember the problem that we solved? Problem in converting NFA to DFA. We have solved the problem, is it not? We found out D trans del like that. So that problem is depicted by this arrow. So if it is possible to convert one notation into another notation, we can draw a diagram, or we can draw an arrow from that notation to another notation. Okay. So similarly, from epsilon NFA to DFA, there is an arrow. So it means that I can convert an epsilon NFA into a DFA. So this also problem we have seen, converting epsilon NFA to DFA. We use the e-closure, we use the D-trans e-closure method to find out the equivalent DFA. Okay, we have seen the problems. So converting your NFA into DFA, it is called as, the problem name is called as subset construction method, and converting your epsilon NFA into DFA, it is called as modified subset construction method. This name I have not told you earlier, not. I'll discuss later once again about that. By now you remember, this arrow denotes conversion of one notation to another notation. There will be a theorem associated with that arrow, and also there will be a problem in converting one notation to another notation. Each and every arrow denotes a particular theorem and particular problem, okay, in doing such conversion. And similarly, watch the other arrows also. That is, from DFA to NFA, there is an arrow. So if there is a DFA, then there will be an NFA. We can convert it. And if there is a DFA, simply if you are just adding an epsilon h to an already existing DFA, that DFA will become an epsilon NFA. Okay, so that is also possible. And now in this unit, we are going to see problems related to your regular expression. Not. So we are going to see problems of how to convert a DFA into regular expression. Watch this arrow. There is an arrow from DFA to regular expression. It denotes that there is a problem in converting a DFA diagram into a regular expression, and also from regular expression to epsilon NFA. Okay, we have problems in converting regular expression into epsilon NFA. Here also you have theorems. Your theorem steps, it denotes your problem steps, how to do that conversion. Okay, all these arrows, you can count the arrows also. All these arrows, they denote a certain theorem and a particular type of problem in converting a particular notation, one notation to another notation. Okay, I have written the statement here. If you want, you can note down. An arc from class X to class Y, it denotes the information. An arc from class X to class Y means that we prove that every language defined by class X is also defined by class Y. So for the same language, you can construct the equivalently, you can construct the another notation also. So that is defined by that arrow in your diagram. So many information I am telling you. You have to remember, you just remember with the heading. Okay. So many information I am giving you, but if in your exam it is asked, what is the equivalence, draw the equivalence diagram of finite automata and regular expression, many will not draw this diagram. That is the problem. You have to relate your question, understand and identify what is asked. You have to identify what we should produce. Okay, equivalence diagram of your finite automata and the regular expression. That is this diagram. This diagram depicts the equivalence of your regular expression and the automata. You can convert a regular expression into any of this automata. You can convert any of the automata into a regular expression. That is the information that is conveyed in this diagram. Okay. Okay. So in the upcoming classes, we'll be studying problems in converting DFA to regular expression and a regular expression to epsilon NFA. Okay, that we will discuss in the next class, probably in the coming Wednesday. Okay. you just note down the slide. Okay, so after some 5 minutes or 10 minutes, you just download the presentation from your MS Team. Okay, now the PPT that has been uploaded, that you need not refer. That has the other problems also. Okay, the other problems in your unit, that you don't refer now. I'll once again post this PPT in your MS Team under theory of computation. Under the subject theory of computation, you go and download the PPT. Okay, so with this today we'll wind up our session. I hope you all can understand. Okay, so both automata and regular expressions, they are equivalent. You must be able to write regular expression for all the languages that for which you constructed an automata. Okay, that you just remember. We'll see more problems later. Okay, so with this we'll end up the session. Thank you, Pa. Thank you all. And those who not yet completed
Thank you,
your
ma'am.